Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Chrysalis Conversations. So, this series is all about answering questions that I receive in my free Facebook group or from my students and via DMs or private messages. So, this week we've got two. The first one is about poverty consciousness and poverty mindset and poverty lack programming. And the question was like, how do you really start to work upon that when you know that you have it? And the best advice I have for this is, well, first off, congratulations for knowing you have it in the first place. But to me, with all of the personal experiences that I've had, as well as looking at my clients, friends, and most people I've known that have been able to get out of this programming, is that it is kind of looked at from the level of like, how bad is your wounding? And I know that might sound a little bit funny and a little bit weird to say to somebody, but every single person is different. Every single person has their own money stories that they've inherited from their parents, that they have inherited from society, from their neighbors, from the school that they went to, how they talk to themselves. They might have had it from their parents, then they've gone into a toxic workplace and you might have been asking for promotions and you've got, someone who's degrading you and saying you're not worth it. Then you might have had an abusive partnership where one partner was controlling most of the money. You might have a combination of all of this. And each individual person has multiple layers to heal. I think the most profound thing that you can do if you have poverty lack is to actually really sit there and say to yourself, well, what else is attached to it? And to work upon the things that are attached to it. Because money is intrinsically linked in with your confidence and your ability to deliver and keep your word to yourself, basically. When it comes to a business or it comes to any job that you're in, somebody needs to have something of value, and then you need to provide and back up that value. So let's use a normal, regular job as an example. If your boss is only wanting A, B, C, D, and they're offering this amount of money, saying, I want A, B, C, D, and then I'm willing to pay you this amount of money. But you're wanting more money and you know that you can work your way up in the business. So you need to show that boss, I can do A, B, C, D better than everyone, but I can also do E, F, G. And I'm wanting to ask for more, go for that promotion, come up with a plan and a proposal. The problem comes into confidence and self-worth. A lot of people are not going to go for the promotion. They're not going to talk themselves up. The saddest thing that I used to witness is the people who used to brag and big note themselves, but then actually never had anything to back it up with. And they would get all these promotions and end up kind of destroying the department and cause all this havoc because the bosses only want to hear, I can do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. So that they're all they care about. and they're wanting people to show them that they can do more. So quite often the bitter truth of this is that we can be desiring all these things and want all these things more, but we're still stuck with like, I'm doing my ABCD and I'm whinging about it because I want to do more and I want to do this, but you're not fighting for it. Let's have a look at self-employment. Any service, anything. You have a service, you have a psychic ability, you have anything, coaching like myself. You have to prove that you can solve the problem that people have, that you're really, really good at it, and you have the solution for it. In essence, that's what it is. So a lot of when I'm helping people and my clients and anybody that comes through this is where the imposter syndrome will come in. The teacher and the guide archetype can be really shy, like, oh my gosh, you're wanting me to teach? I'm not comfortable. But if you have the knowledge and the experience and the journey and the answer that people are needing, you have to, through the healing steps of just putting yourself out there and systematically doing it, you have to do it, step up and become that teacher, become that healer. And you have to learn to market yourself, ask for money, and not feel squidgy and gross while you're doing it. And depending upon how big of a self-esteem wounding and a money story you've got playing, and everything will depend on how easy that is. The people that you see that go out there and they quickly scale to 10 and 20K months and they seem to have only just started their business. No, they have backgrounds in marketing and Facebook ads and this and that and everything. And I mean every single one of them that I have seen that have rapidly built their business are already an expert in their field. So they don't have any fears about stepping up and marketing themselves. But the person who is afraid to do card readings and Reiki sessions, what will people think of them? Are they going to be called the black sheep and the kook? Are people going to throw Bibles at them and burn them at the stake? Like, they have to go through all of that before they even get to like being able to market themselves. So your money mindset is directly linked in with the bigger picture of the stories that you have. If you've struggled in childhood, you have to heal childhood woundings. If you're a people pleaser and you've got a really bad shapeshifter, or if you're a really bad martyr archetype that's out of control, you're not going to have financial security while you're giving away all your precious time and energy being nice to every single other person and putting yourself last. You're literally telling the universe that you're not valuable enough. It's not going to give you money. If you've got a really bad inner critic, toxic inner critic that's constantly badgering you, you'll have to work on that. If you have an out of control perfectionist, then you're going to be crippled about doing every little tiny thing because it has to be perfect. So people go into the money mindset and get really focused in on the money. It doesn't really have much to do with the money. you're not proving that you're valuable enough in your chosen field, and something is blocking somewhere and there's some entanglement or story. And some people need to heal this for years. It's layer upon layer, story by story, and celebrate every story and everything that you uncover with it. The more you empower yourself, the more you become confident, the more you don't hesitate to ask for money, to claim money, to go for money, to become more valuable. The the beautiful Melanie Ann Layer gave an incredible analogy of a cook. And you have some people who are a cook in a restaurant, like a tuck shop, a takeaway place. And then you have other people who are working in a large fancy restaurant. And then you've got cooks who are Michelin star cooks. And they're all cooks, but they've all got different levels of expertise and knowledge, abilities, and value. So you're not going to pay the same money to somebody who works as a cook in McDonald's as someone who works in a restaurant, a Gordon Ramsay restaurant. Because you know that the person who's working in the Gordon Ramsay restaurant has years and years of apprenticeships and training and everything. Whereas in the person at McDonald's might be just clocking in and out for a shift while working on something else. I love this analogy of Melanie's because it makes you realize that if you want to be seen as that Michelin star chef, if you're wanting that more money and more esteem and more credentials and everything, then you can't whinge at this level. You have to just keep educating yourself, training yourself, doing all the things to get to the higher level. It's nothing about money. And it's not about opportunities as well. There's people who are absolutely dirt poor and they've got that craving and they've got that fight to become the Michelin star chef. And they do it. It might take them twice as long as someone who's a trust fund baby, but they'll do it. And they'll probably taste better with their cooking because of all the trials and errors. So, poverty mindset is layered. It is intrinsically tied into how you value yourself, your self-worth system, how you see yourself, your confidence. But it's also tied in with, am I doing the best that I can do? Or am I coasting and whinging? Am I just in my victim? So in awe of everyone else's stuff that they've got, scrolling on Instagram, like, oh, they're so lucky. But they're all working and hustling and doing something while you're sitting there watching them. So go and hustle if you want that. Instead of envying them, create it. So I hope that that brings some more awareness and be strategic. Look at the areas that need healing and do the healing. Look at the areas that need empowerment and do empowerment work. Look at the areas where you need to step up and take action and freaking well own it. And in 12 months' time, your entire life will be vastly different. In 5 years' time, you'll look back and go, WTF. Now, my second question is, was a conversation that I was having in my messenger with somebody who I've known for quite a while. And it was around like when you're feeling really, really down and flat and gross and icky and the best thing that you can do to get yourself out of that is a conscious act of self-love. And I was talking to her about the archetypes and the archetypal empowerment system and how the lover archetype, which is the higher aspect of the prostitute, is actually one of those channels that come through. So what you're doing is when you're doing a conscious act of self-love, even though you're in this foul mood and everything's depressed and gross and furious and anger and despair and why is me and woe is me and all the things, you don't want to go and do something nice to yourself. You want to kind of beat yourself up, and depending on what's going on in your life, you can be shame, guilt, blame, fury, anger, despair, rage. You can be going through all of these things. Why is this happening to me? I'm a good person. It's happening to you because there's something you need to see. And you can't access your sovereign as easy because you're in a complete chaotic mess. So your lover is a really profound channel of energy. And by taking time out to do a conscious act of self-love, boy, oh boy, can that just bring you to center and to clarity. A lot of the times we're in a lot of despair and fury and anger, and we're like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? But we're so trapped in our mind that the universe is literally waiting for you to pause so it can give you the sign. But you can't see it while you're in your mind. So if you go and do something that is one of your like things that bring you joy and peace and love and happiness and chill, you will get that special email and read it in the correct way. Someone will say something, you'll walk past someone in the supermarket and it's like the perfect thing that they could possibly say. Someone gifts you something, someone rings you, someone texts you, and then you get that message and you get that clarity. But it's only because you're receptive to hear it, because you've taken a moment for yourself. So what I say to all of my clients, and some of you may have heard me say it, and I say it quite often, is pick 5 things that you know that nourish your soul and just keep them written down and very clear always in your mind. Stick them on your fridge, stick them in your diary, stick them on your laptop. Be very aware of them. And if shit happens in your life, do one of the things. They don't have to be massive things. Mine is going for a walk, preferably in nature. If I can go for a walk in the rainforest, if things are really bad, I come back to center and groundedness and peace faster than anything. A bath, I put crystals in it, I put essential oils in it, and no matter if I need to be creative or if I need to percolate or if I need to process, I get my ass in the bath. And I'm like, okay, guys, I need to wash this away, or I need to show me. And I actually just use it as a conduit of just letting everything kind of go, and I can sit. Many times I'll take my Kindle in and I'll prop it up on my thing and I'm reading and just allowing my mind to have a break, and a magic happens. And I mean that. I was really wanting a title for a course that I want to do later in the year, and I'm umming and ahhing, and I'm going through thesaurus.com and dictionary.com, and I'm looking at this word and a synonym for this and everything, and then I kind of just let it go. And I'm like, show me, show me, show me. And I stopped my mental stories and I started reading a smutty, trashy, fabulous vampire romance novel book. and they mentioned something in it, and I'm just like, that's the word, that's the going in the title. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So pause, do these little things. Another one of mine is going to the movies. I spend most of my time talking to people. If I can go to the movies by myself, someone's entertaining me, I chill out. It's like a reset for my brain. It doesn't have to be big things, things like this. Create your list of 5 things, keep them there. And the more you have resistance to doing them, the more you need to do them. Because otherwise, you're going to stay firmly stuck in your victim and your saboteur, and you're going to stay longer in the underworld, in feeling crap. Trust me on this. Try it if you don't believe me. It is just such a simple thing, but it allows conscious, channeled decision making, signs to feel connected. Your intuition comes back online, magic happens. All of my clients, even the ones who were skeptical, have gone, yes, actually, this freaking well works. So that is the reason why I say this a lot. And when you are in those feelings of woe and lessons and whatever's going on, your life can explode. And this can get you through. Even on a drastic level, I had a friend whose life imploded, which is Caroline Mice. She calls it an archetypal crisis. And she it's like when everything goes wrong at once. So there's big shifts and changes in your lives, and archetypes are descending into you and other ones are ascending out, and you're just like tumultuous. So I had a beautiful friend who was in just so fighting the initiation, and her business dried up. She wasn't getting any clients. She was miserable. She hated her place. She was staying. All these things happened, and then she got evicted. And I kept saying to her, you know, there's a reason for this. You have to surrender. You will see what it is. And she just got moved all around. But the moment she surrendered, the moment she just let it all go, the clients came back in, and her clients actually tripled. And she started making tons more money, and everything flowed a lot easier. And the actual message in hindsight was she had been told to move by spirit quite a lot, and she was ignoring that. And they were like, fine, we'll just move you. And she got evicted and had to move. And then things have all happened and unfolded for her. But her business has like rocketed. So we have to constantly do these little things. And she was a great example because she kept amazing self-care. She did yoga, she did walks on the beach, she ate really healthy. She went and got massages and did different things which would self-nurture her while going through this incredible initiation and tumultuous time. And I said to her, I truly honestly feel like if you hadn't have done all this, and this is after a breakup as well, and I'm like, if you hadn't have gone through all of this while looking after yourself, I feel like it would have been 1,000 times worse. And that self-care and that discipline to look after yourself can get you through any like the really horrific things. So you can use that tool to literally get you through the toughest and toughest of times, but it can also get you through like you're feeling crap for the day. What can you do about it? Let's do something nice. My mind will not stop. So the busier your mind is, the more you need to stop. Get back into your heart, get back into your body, think and feel and do nothing and do something that nourishes you. I hope that helps. I will put a notice up in my Facebook group. And next week, it should be next Thursday, I will answer any of the questions that come through and put up the next episode. I hope you found this really helpful, and bye for now.